Well, hello, it's Mel and Jac again, and this is the last of our 4 videos on our trip along the Norwegian coast with the Hurtigruten. So it was 4th day, Mel. What was going to be the highlight?
Well, it began in a place called Harstad.
Harstad, yes.
We picked up a coach, actually, which we hadn't done much of, but we were going quite a long way today. We went on a tour of an area called Vesteralen.
Yeah. Very pretty it was too.
It was. Well, we stopped to start with at in an area where there was a beautiful old church.
There's a medieval painter at work there. Quite remarkable because this.
I can't remember the age of it. It was very old.
It was 13th century, and it was massive at a time when the population was tiny. I mean, probably just a few hundred people.
And we had a lovely little service, didn't we?
We had a little service, and I was welcomed into to this service, and it's very beautiful inside, quite austere, but also still quite a lot of beautiful panelling and what have you. It did have a kind of a sober secret though, Mel, which was just outside.
Yeah, it was an area where a lot of Russian prisoners of war were brought to basically help build it up as a community, but it was so cold and they were fed peanuts. I mean, they all knew they were going to die doing their work.
They all knew that they were going to die.
It was very, very sad. But at the same time, it's nice that they memorialised it. And we had another little tidbit of history. We had a sort of medieval presentation about a house which looked very similar to the Sami style
identical.
Of insulating their homes with building mud and growth around it.
Overground hobbit houses, yes.
But there were quite a lot of sheep now in this area, so they used wool.
Yeah.
Showed us how they made the wool and used a loom to create blankets and dresses and shirts that they wore.
And then into the coach, and we went along the side of the field, and Mel took all of these photographs coming up now through the window of the coach. I think they're absolutely lovely. Have you got anything to say about them, Mel?
Well, it was just incredibly colourful because we were lucky with the weather, but it just gave us an insight into the purity of their lives, really. I mean, the chap who was doing the tour guiding explained to us how quite a lot of these little small holdings have shops. Yeah. And they just leave the door open all day long. Yeah. The honesty shops, you go in, you have to have cash.
We were amazed.
You pick up your 2 dozen eggs or whatever, and you leave your money, and you go out, and you get on your boat, and you trundle off across the field. All very, very wholesome. And actually, we trundled across the field, having seen lots and lots of lovely things. The coach went onto a ferry to take us across the other side.
And then were more colourful buildings on the other side. Bearing in mind taken from the window, I think the photographs are pretty good. But we had to wait. There was a mystery wait. We stopped just before the bridge. Now, what was that all about?
Well, because they timed it, so they were in touch with the bridge of the Nordkapp, the MS Nordkapp. And as we were parked in the middle of the bridge, the boat came underneath and they all waved to us, which was very sweet. Yeah.
And then we stopped and admired the boat being docked, and well, it was a pretty good job, wasn't it?
Well, they do it an awful lot every day.
But yeah, big boat coming in pretty effortlessly, going under more and more bridges now, and then kind of coming into town. We had a chance to admire the guys at work bringing the boat in.
This was just one of the typical little stop-offs. We didn't get off, but this is what happens to the boat. They stop for maybe 15 minutes. They just pick up a few supplies. Yeah. A washing machine would go on and off, or something to do with food supplies for the boat, post. They'd be doing this, I don't know, 5 times a day with the ropes.
Yeah, and the scenery's changing. You can start to see forests coming along now on the hills. It's like really quite beautiful, the kind of juxtaposition of man-made and natural beauty.
But we're still in the Arctic Circle.
You wouldn't believe it though. I mean, we've been sunbathing for quite a lot of the time. There we are, looking very happy. And there's another highlight coming up. Well, we didn't sign up for it, but we got to see it all right. What was that, Mel?
Well, the sea eagles.
The sea eagles were very.
Yeah, so this sort of tour boat pulled alongside, and some people got off and joined it, and they went quite close to the cliffs. But with your super camera, you could see.
We were right behind the boat, so I think we actually got a.
We did see we saw quite a lot.
we got to see, we got to see the seagulls going along. We weren't interested in the seagulls. We were interested in seagulls. Now, you see a couple of photographs here. This is after they've been zoomed in. What we saw with these birds is zipping across.
Well, they came down because obviously the boat threw fish into the water for them. But it was quite something, actually.
Yeah, and quite an amazing wingspan. And the guys on the
2.5 meters, I think.
Yeah, quite astonishing, really. And the guys on the boat, you can see they've been mobbed by seagulls, which wouldn't be my favourite occupation. So we're kind of going along this very, very long, narrow fjord. We can see the kind of holiday little huts coming along. And then I think we're going to go back to somewhere where we've been before. Can you remember where that was, Mel?
I think we stopped in Svolvaer.
Yeah, no, the troll field.
Oh, the troll field first. Yeah, we stopped in the troll field.
And it was just as good.
Quick in and out, and we saw some people on ribs shooting along, having fun.
And the scenery now is quite, almost wherever you look, the scenery, it is quite stunning. And we're going through these photographs quite quickly, but if you stop on one and just look, you'll see kind of layers and layers of cliffs and rocks.
It was like a never-ending... It's like one of those... I don't know what you call it when you look through a pinhole and you just see lots and lots of different layers of cardboard and pictures. It was almost unreal.
No, yeah, almost like that will do as a description. And so we've included quite a lot of shots and we spent quite a lot of time just watching. You see us at the front of the boat here. And now I think we are starting to come into port. Now, what are we excited about, Mel? Where are we getting to?
Svolvaer.
And was that our favourite place in the whole tour?
Well, it was very prosperous, but also each time that we were there, I think that the scenery and the light was really dramatic.
Yes.
So it lit up the colour of the houses and the water in the marina. It was, really blue.
So the light towards the end was absolutely.
We went on a little walk, didn't we, up just around the edge.
I found myself a new girlfriend. And I have to think this Mel is very cute in these photographs. Don't mind me saying.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And you also look very cute in what is this yellow thing that you were trying?
It's a waterproof poncho, which I wish I'd purchased.
You should have purchased it.
I didn't purchase it, but I should have done.
But didn't you have a conversation with?
I was going to buy it for Ellie for her to wear on her bicycle, but neither of us were quite sure about it. But I do wish I'd put it in my shopping basket.
Yeah. So that was a good day and a beautiful day. The next day wasn't so sunny, and I think we spent most of the time on the boat, didn't we?
Well, there was a stop, and I think we got off briefly just to have a look around town.
Yeah.
But it was raining and drizzly, and actually, it's quite nice when you've been doing a lot just to sit and have a read and take it all in.
Yes. Now I was reading the Philip Pullman book. What were you reading?
I had a bit of a Russian foray. I read a spy novel, and then I was reading Alexei Navalny's book.
Yeah, that's very highbrow of you. That was good. And here we've got the Science of Life. We've got kind of boats and the houses. A quiet and relaxed day, and I think we needed one after so many adventures. Then we're coming on to the last really active day. And what had we signed up for?
We signed up for a morning hike around the coastline of Trondheim.
And where did she take us? Can you remember?
Well, she took us through this tunnel, which they'd used as a place to hide during the war. Basically, people lived in it for as long as they needed to for shelter.
It was a pretty big tunnel, I think.
It was a bit scary and quite wet, but you could see why it was so useful.
Yeah, and then we kind of stopped off for a kind of relaxed little kind of drink and what have you.
Square of chocolate, I think.
Did we have a square? We did, didn't we? And also there's more lighthouses. This is an old dock here, which we all thought looked...
And it's quite nice because some of these buildings they've repurposed now. One of them they've turned into a sauna.
Oh, that's right.
And another area, all the people of the town had voted what to do with it. And the young people had decided that it should become an evening cafe where teenagers could hang out away from the city.
Yeah, get them away from the place.
So they didn't annoy everybody.
Yeah. We're not sure what the sign with the rat means. Something a bit.
Don't
weird.
leave food litter. And this chap here did street art all over the place.
Yes.
It's quite recognisable.
And then suddenly there was a bit of a panic, wasn't there?
Well, yes, we could see the boat had docked, and then we realised that we weren't going to make it back in time if we walked, so we had to wait for a taxi, which was late.
It was late, yeah.
So we did delay the boat, but I don't think it mattered.
Yeah. Anyway, kind of get back out to see more lighthouses. We like lighthouses. And we had a tour.
Yeah, we went to an area called the Christiansund, and we started off stopping at one of these old churches. It was called a stave church,
Yes.
because of the way it was built.
With staves.
Yeah, and it was absolutely. I'd never seen anything like it inside. Actually, it was beautifully painted inside, but lots of quirky stories because there were separate parts of it and why there were different parts.
Yes. And the wife of the vicar had
a separate entrance,
yes.
so she didn't have to come in with the common people.
It was also a kind of post-Reformation church, and that was surprising because it was very, very richly decorated, and not just with carvings, but with on the wall as well.
But wasn't part of it Protestant and part of it Catholic?
No, it was.
Was I getting confused with another church?
There was another church in the north, but they're both staunchly Protestant. I don't think we came across too many Catholic churches, and you can see it had lots of really interesting sculptures and what have you. And then, as with our other tour, we kind of went down a field, but the light wasn't.
Yeah, we went through the Christiansund field and we stopped off for a nice evening supper of bacalhau, which is salted cod in a nice rich tomato stew.
It was very good. I enjoyed that a lot because part of what this is the Atlantic coast and road, and what we come to see was this amazing road which links the
Atlantic.
Yeah.
What's it called? The Atlantic Road.
The Atlantic Road. It links all the little islands together. Here we are. What's the weather like, Mel?
Fabulous.
There you are.
I thought what was really interesting, we went through some really big tunnels
They
as
were
well.
big tunnels.
And tunnels and bridges, both of which he explained to us would exact a toll.
Yes.
But only for as long as it took
Yeah.
for the cost of the construction to be paid back to the government,
Yeah.
after which it's free. Then if there had to be any repairs, they just put the toll on again.
Yeah.
Really clever, actually.
And also the roads didn't seem to be going to big population centres, which is what you do in the UK. It was just a road up the coast. So they'd done a pretty remarkable job, as featured in James Bond films. And it did look good. It did look good.
Despite the weather.
Despite the weather. And we were kind of huddled in a town famous for its roses, waiting for our
Molde.
Look at these Alps. Quite amazing. They go all the way round. If you keep on going, you can see them in the distance there, and you might just hear a low humming noise. What could that possibly be? What could be coming? Yes, the Hurtigruten, a welcome sight. And you know what? That's just about the end of our adventure.
Yeah, we spent the last day on board waiting to come back into Bergen.
Coffees and ice cream, yeah. And then we got into Bergen, and then it was pretty effortless.
Straight to the airport.
Straight to Bergen, straight on the plane, straight on another plane, drove home, and 12 days have gone by in a blur.
Yeah, but it was beautiful. It was a really, really fantastic holiday.
Yes, thank you, Norway. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.